Is Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene looking to get sued?
Just earlier this morning, I received from a very good friend of mine that lives here in my district. And so Whitfield County, someone posted up that when they went to vote in Whitfield County here in Georgia's 14th district. Now, remember, we're a swing state and we need everyone to vote in my district. And so they went to vote, and we have the Dominion machines. So when this voter printed their ballot and they looked, it had changed. It was not Donald Trump. It was not me, and it was not the other ones they had voted for. It had switched. So they had to start over, and they went through it several times, and it kept on making the same error, kept on switching the votes. That's extremely concerning. It sounds similar to what we heard in 2020.
I heard it from a friend that they were switching the votes. Oh, did you really? Oh, it's the same thing. We heard from 2020, which again turned out to not be real. Okay. There's a 99% chance that Marjorie just made this up. The other 1% is the alleged friend making this up. Either way, somebody's making it up. Okay, this is not a real thing that happens, okay? These are conspiracy theories that, again, they allege things that are never able to be reproduced. So it didn't happen then, it didn't happen in 2020. There is zero evidence, okay? Now, of course, I mean, is that going to stop Marjorie Taylor Greene? No, because...
Just forget about the evidence.
A lawsuit could stop her. Maybe, possibly. I don't know. I mean, like, Dominion has already sued Fox News, Newsmax, Mike Lindell, Gateway Pundit, Rudy Giuliani, among others, and almost all of the lawsuits have been settled in Dominion's favor. And of course, that is because of the lack of evidence. But here's Marjorie Greene saying, but wait a minute. Oh, I'm seeing some stuff happen. Uh-oh. They know they're lying, though. Now, I don't know about Marjorie Greene, though. I mean, does she know she's lying, or is she stupid enough to actually believe this? Don't necessarily know. There's a lot of evidence for both, okay? For one, on the stupid side...
Jewish space lasers.
I mean, come on. I think that's fairly obvious to, make that argument, and you could probably win that argument, arguing that Marjorie Greene is a moron. But you could also go with the lying thing, because she lies a lot too. Okay, so, I mean, it's real 50-50 on this one. Either she's too dumb to realize that this is not true, or she's a liar. But again, there are people who do know better and do know that they're lying, and they're doing it because they're afraid that Donald Trump will lose the election. And so they're looking for any excuse to do two things. For one, excuse a loss for Donald Trump, because it's never his fault. Oh no, it can't ever be my fault. If I lose the election, it's never my fault. It's always something else. It's always illegals, or it could be even Venezuela.
In Venezuela.
It could be the Italians, the Iranians, the Pomeranians. Okay, they rigged the election against me. What are you gonna do? Okay, but that's the ridiculous part of it. But the very real part of it is using these nonsense arguments as a way to then try to attempt to steal the election. It's not like they didn't already try once. They did. And that's my big concern here. Once the polls close, you've got these excuses that are going to be flying around. Okay? And that's going to lead to the election being challenged in court. Okay? Republicans are already involved in 130 lawsuits, claiming that, oh no, we're just wanting to make sure all the votes are counted properly. Because we hear from friends, cousins, uncles, sister-in-law, that some illegals were out there voting. What? Again, we're going to see the most ridiculous game of telephone ever imagined. This will be worse than, Nicki Minaj's friend's cousin's balls swelling up as a result of the COVID vaccine, which, again, is not a real thing. But anyway, no, Republicans... they are ready to take this to court, okay? And now what are the Democrats doing? not a whole lot, at least nationally. According to Justin Levitt, former advisor to the Biden administration on voting access and a law professor at Loyola's Marymount University, quote, Democrats and groups favoring or aligned with Democrats are mostly playing defense at the moment. Oh, great. Playing defense. Wonderful. Now, the Harris campaign said in a Tuesday statement on the recent Georgia decision, we have protected our elections from far-right Republicans trying to disrupt them. Now, look, Georgia Judge Robert McBurney has been making some really good rulings, or really sensible rulings. In fact, on Tuesday, they temporarily halted a new rule passed by the state's conservative election board requiring poll workers to hand count ballots, which would have again thrown the entire state and election into chaos. Because of how long it would take, okay? How many tens of thousands of ballots you would have to count by hand that they don't have the infrastructure to do. And not only that, but again, there are other decisions that McBurney had made that are pretty good, that have made sure that, for example, counties cannot refuse to certify elections based on, we think there might have been some fraudulent stuff going on. So we're just going to cancel the whole thing. We're just not going to certify whatsoever. No, you can't do that. You can't do that. And this judge affirmed that they cannot do that, according to Georgia's own state constitution. It's not just in Georgia. In Arizona, a judge on October 11th rejected a conservative group's bid to force the state's largest county to do more extensive checks to make sure non-citizens were not on the voter rolls. Now, wait a minute. You might think, well, wait a minute. We don't want non-citizens voting. Just because you may be registered doesn't mean you're allowed to vote. Non-citizens are already legally barred from voting in the U.S. Doesn't matter if they're on the voter rolls or not. Being registered to vote doesn't mean that you're allowed to vote. Okay, it just means that you are registered to vote. That doesn't mean that when you show up on election day and cast your ballot, that it's going to be counted. If you're a non-citizen and you try to vote, you're not only not going to have that vote count, but you're also going to be arrested, because that is voter fraud. Okay, that is illegal. That is illegal. Can't do it. Can't do it. Now, that said, state officials and courts did block a lot of the stuff that Republicans have been trying to do, but I can't help but feel that this election there's going to be a lot of contests. Okay, there's going to be a lot of court battles, and I don't like the fact that that the polls are extremely tight in the swing states. The tighter it is, the more it could benefit Republicans, but it only takes a few corrupt officials, a few fake electors, which they already tried back in 2020, and they're probably going to try again, to hand this election over to Donald Trump through the Electoral College, which is basically DEI for Republicans. They can't win without the Electoral College. So, yeah, if you're not nervous right now about what's going to happen, you probably should be. Because here's Marjorie Taylor Greene already spinning her stories to try to make it easier for Donald Trump to steal 2024. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you become a member on our YouTube page, you become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.